So hi everybody, welcome to the Discover Arbonne tonight. It's October 3rd, 2016, and just really excited to be here to show you what's possible with Arbonne. And I'm Tami Rea. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne and a regional vice president, and we'll talk more about what that means in just a minute. But I just want to pay you the highest compliment for being on, because you're going to hear a little bit about why Arbonne is different and why Arbonne truly attracts such high caliber people. It's because it's a company with integrity that's always striving to do the right thing for the right reasons. And I'm just so excited to share a little bit more with you tonight about Arbonne. I'm just one second here. Let me mute again. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, now we're going to keep going. So welcome to tonight. And just to be clear, whoever invited you gave you the highest compliment because they see something in you that maybe Arbonne could benefit, but that you could also benefit this company by being part of it. So I just want you to know you've been paid the highest compliment to you for being here. We're not here to convince anyone of anything tonight. We're just here to share a little bit of information with you and to just let you take a peek at what makes Arbonne so unique and special in the marketplace today. So I was first introduced to Arbonne, my goodness, it seems like a long time ago now, in 2003. And I had actually gone through breast cancer in my 20s, and it wasn't genetic. And I was looking, since it wasn't genetic, I was actually looking into environmental causes of cancer. And because I didn't want to go through that again, as any of you who've ever experienced a health crisis, you just don't want to ever go through that again. So I was looking for ways to prevent. And I learned very quickly that in the United States, the cosmetic industry is not regulated, and that what we put on our skin actually absorbs into our bloodstream without going through a detoxifying organ first. I had never heard that before, and I'm a nurse. And so that was definitely something intriguing to me. And when Arbonne crossed my path, I just immediately was open and receptive to it because, again, it's a company that has always put people over profit. And there's a mission that we have in Arbonne, and it's just to educate people that so many companies, you guys, in this country, they're actually putting toxins in our products and things that are unsafe for our families because they value profit over people. And in Arbonne, we're actually just offering safer options. And so that's what I get excited to share with people too. So what do we do in Arbonne? All we're doing is we're talking to people about a safer way to shop. And so we teach people how to shop online, safer, pure products at a discount. And we also teach people how to build their own online business. And so that's exciting to me too, just again, to give other options, because I tell you what, I was working as a nurse. I actually worked for 12 years on the midnight shift, and I don't know if anyone has ever felt this way, but I felt like I did all the right things. I went to school, I got my degree, I got out in the workforce, I worked really hard, and I was working really hard to barely keep my head above water. I was working really hard to just stay status quo, to barely make ends meet, to just live paycheck to paycheck. And I just felt like my life was passing me by and I wasn't in it. And when I was asked the question, I was actually asked in an Arbonne meeting, if you keep doing what you're doing, where will you be in 5 years? And I thought, I was not excited about how I felt about that question. I'm thinking, I cannot keep doing what I'm doing. I couldn't imagine one more day, let alone 5 more years of what I was doing, working midnights. And so it definitely made me take a look. And I just want to share my screen so you can see the picture here. So what would you do if you had an extra $1,000 or more per month? I just want you to start thinking about these questions as we go through this. How would you feel? What would your life be like if you were your own boss, if you weren't clocking in and clocking out every day? what would you do? How would you feel? How would your life be different if you could improve your health, or if you could help change other people's lives? It's definitely something to think about, because yes, we're not here to just, you know, live and survive through each day. We're actually here to make a difference and to live a life of significance. And that's definitely something you'll hear over and over in Arbonne. So again, what makes Arbonne different? We've been around since 1980, and there's really only 1% brand awareness still, which kind of blows my mind. In fact, I actually love it when people say Arbonne, airborne. They can't even pronounce the word because it's not, you know, easily recognized yet. And yet it's a 36-year-old company. This to me is really exciting because it's a 36-year-old well-established company, and yet still in its infancy as far as global expansion. I mean, that is so exciting. Arbonne is only in the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Poland, and we're just now opening in Taiwan next month. So who do you know in these areas? But if you think about it, Arbonne is the only company with this much longevity that isn't in, you know, 50 or more countries. We've really taken our time to do the right thing for the right reason for long enough, and we're ready now to just explode globally. So it's a really, really exciting time to be part of Arbonne. There's still so much growth to be had. So what makes, you know, maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, if Arbonne is so great, why haven't I heard of it? You know, and what's the big deal? Why should I care? Well, here's why. Because Arbonne is different in the marketplace. We're botanically based with no mineral oil. And I just want to pause here. You guys, when I first heard of mineral oil, I was thinking, well, you know, mineral oil sounds healthy, minerals, right? But I didn't realize that mineral oil is the #1 ingredient in the United States in the personal care industry. And yet it's the #2 cause of aging next to the sun. What? I couldn't believe that they could put something in your skincare that caused aging. So that was interesting to me. Mineral oil is actually derived, it's a derivative of gasoline, the gasoline production. It's actually a waste product. So these refineries who are making gasoline, they have a waste product. If they were to dispose of their waste properly, it would cost a lot of money. If they were to spill their waste on the ground, they would be fined because it's so toxic to the earth. Instead, they sell their waste to the cosmetic industry because they can make money that way. They can make a profit. So again, it just kind of rings true how, you know, so many companies are valuing profit over people. They're not really looking at how it affects us all. So mineral oil, for a lot of reasons, isn't good for us. It ages us, but it actually coats the skin. It doesn't allow our skin to breathe and release toxins as it should. It's a barrier. So it's just not something that we want in our skincare. And Arbonne, since it goes by the European standards, which are much higher than in the United States, they don't allow mineral oil at all. It's completely banned in Europe because it's unsafe. So we go by the European standards, thank goodness. So Arbonne's also pH correct and hypoallergenic, no artificial sugars. It's free of gluten and GMOs. And I just want to pause here again. What I love about Arbonne is, again, that they're doing the right thing. And you guys, we have a choice in our country. We get to vote with our dollars. So if we're voting for companies that are still using genetically modified organisms, we're going to get more products with GMOs. If we vote with our dollar for companies who are doing the right thing and taking care of our earth, being good stewards of our planet, then, you know, we're going to reap those results. So it's definitely something to be mindful of. We have the chance to vote with our dollar. So how are we going to vote? I choose to vote for a company who's always been true to the environment. We actually are part of the Forest Stewardship Council, so there's no clear-cutting trees. We actually grow our own trees for catalogs. We use plant-based ink in our catalogs. We're carbon neutral with UPS. It's like we're doing the right thing for the right reason all the way through. And I love that. So Arbonne is also vegan certified. And again, when I heard that, I thought, okay, that's nice. They don't test on animals, which we don't, which is a big deal. But that's different than being vegan certified. A vegan certification is a really big deal. But it also means we don't have animal products or byproducts. So your homework today is, I want you to Google what a rendering plant is, and I'll tell you just a little snippet, but then I want you to go read for yourself and just do your own due diligence here, because it is eye-opening. Oh my goodness, I was floored when I heard this. So what a rendering plant does is it collects roadkill and euthanized animals, the meat that's gone past its expiration date, the vats of used oil from restaurants. It takes it to the rendering plant, boils it down. The fat that rises to the top is scraped off and sold to the cosmetic industry since it's not regulated. And it's put into our personal care products, which now we have to add fragrance to because, oh my goodness, it's using all of this animal fat. So it's definitely something, once I heard this, I couldn't unlearn it. And I definitely wanted to be mindful about what kind of products I was using. So I hope that you go ahead and look into that further, because it's definitely something that we all need to know about. And again, we vote with our dollar, right? So Arbonne, it has over 400 products, and it has nutrition, a detox and spa line, sun care, skin care for aging skin, problematic acne skin, sensitive for men, babies, all kinds of, skincare needs, the hair care, aromatherapy, healthy living, weight management, and cosmetics. And what I love too, what gets me so excited, is we have a green chemist on staff in Arbonne. His name is Peter Matravers. He has 22 botanical patents to his name. He came to us from Aveda, and he is ours exclusively. He's making products for Arbonne as a green chemist. So he takes the botanicals and uses that as our base for our ingredient policy. It makes me so excited. So how is Arbonne different as far as a retail store, and why would we even consider network marketing? Well, here's the deal. So in traditional retail, the product that we're buying off the shelf has to go through the manufacturer, the wholesaler, the warehouser, the advertiser, the retailer, and then it finally gets to us, the consumer. In network marketing, the product is simply ordered online and shipped straight to us from the manufacturer, and it just goes through a word of mouth advertising through a consultant like me. And so what happens is we end up paying for product instead of the process. Does that make sense? So we end up saving money because we're not spending, millions of dollars on someone to be the face of Arbonne. We just use independent consultants in our catalog, and we don't do advertising on TV or in magazines and stuff. It's all word of mouth. So in that way, we actually save money. We put the money back into making the products with better ingredients. We put it back into, the research and development of the products. And we also put the money into paying the consumers for the consultants for word of mouth advertising. So that's exciting to me. So who endorses network marketing? You can check this out too. Warren Buffett, he actually owns 5 network marketing companies himself. Robert Kiyosaki, who is one of my favorite authors, I really encourage you. He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he also wrote a phenomenal book that just rocked my world. And it's called The Business of the 21st Century. So I would highly recommend just checking out that book. And then also Paul Zane Pilsner, who's been an advisor to many presidents. So why Arbonne? Well, we have consumable products. So if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, it's a good thing to have a consumable product because, I love a good knife set. We have invested in a really nice knife set, but we're set now. We don't need any more knives, right? And so it just makes business sense. If you're selling something that's consumable, I mean, my goodness, every day I'm using my fizz sticks, which, whew, if you haven't tried one, you need to get your hands on a fizz sticks. They're amazing. I use my protein shakes. I use the shampoo. I use the body wash. I use body lotion. I use the deodorant. I put makeup on. I use, oh my goodness, the mascara and the lip balm and everything you can think of that's personal care, I'm using every day. And I wake up in the morning and I use it again. And when I run out, I reorder. And so what's amazing is people are consistently reordering products. So, and the products aren't something that we have to convince people they need. Most people around the world are taking showers, you know, and they're using personal care products every single day. So we're just asking them to switch to a safer brand. This is all internet-based. So I love that too. You can shop online at home at midnight. Whenever you run out of something, you don't have to, we don't stock or deliver products. We just teach people how to order their own products online. It's definitely fits into the timing and trends. People want to feel good. They want to look good. They want to be healthier. The health and wellness business is just booming right now. And we're positioned so perfectly to be right in the heart of this amazing emerging market right now. So we also have the ability to leverage our time. And this was huge for me to understand. So if you think of it this way, I introduced Arbonne to a friend of mine in 2012. It was February of 2012. She came to a product presentation and learned about Arbonne and decided to switch over to a safer brand. And she has ordered probably 10 out of 12 months ever since then. And so you think about that. That was one person placing sizable orders almost every month. But you think about, what if you brought on, 5 people a month on average? Well, over time, they're going to keep, running out of their products. They might not order every month, but they order enough so that, over time, you get this huge customer base. Well, the other interesting part is, remember, we're teaching people 2 things. We're teaching people how to shop a safer product at a discount, but then we're also teaching people how to build their own online business by teaching people how to shop at a discount for a safer product. So think of each consultant with this consumer base, who are purchasing products, as kind of a storefront. It's like we're planting storefronts all over the place too. So think of that over time. You might start with 5 people who want to build a business for themselves, and you're teaching them how to teach other people how to shop online, basically. And those 5 storefronts then start to teach other people how to open their own storefront. And it starts to get mind-blowing. It's hard to wrap your head around because it's just so exciting. It just starts with talking to a few people who talk to people who talk to people, and wow, you have a global business. So for me, this is what's so fascinating, is that an ordinary person like myself, I didn't go to business school, I'm a nurse, but an ordinary person like me can start a business at a very low startup cost, and yet have the ability to leverage time and create a residual income. In my upbringing, all I knew was that, maybe a famous author who wrote a book and then they sold the book over their lifetime and collected proceeds from that. That was residual income. Or a famous musician, writes songs and they collect money from those songs for the rest of their life. Or, like Steven Spielberg, some director. I just never knew that that was possible for me to create a residual income and a business that's willable. So that really turned my head. You think about that. If we have something that can be willed, that's really an asset income. It's much like an annuity where you're continuing to get the thank you checks from talking to people even from years ago and teaching them how to order safer products. So I often, think about the compounding effect, which is often stated as the 7th wonder of the world, the 8th wonder of the world, the compound effect, because we so often overestimate what can be accomplished in 1 year, but yet we underestimate what can be accomplished over 5 years. So this is really exciting. If you're interested in at all in taking a peek at Arbonne, really give it a good amount of time to kind of, mature. So in Arbonne, we can create a corporate income working part-time hours. Did you hear that? Does that excite you? It did me. I just knew, I didn't care how long this would take me to figure out. I just knew I needed it, and I needed to figure it out, whatever it took. So in Arbonne, we all started as independent consultants, and then as we talk to people and grow our team, the first level of income is district manager, and the average monthly income is between $200 to $1,000. And for me, my first year as a district manager, I earned, in an entire year, I earned $6,200. And for a lot of people, they would say, maybe not worth it, okay? But think about this. And $6,200, that was right around $500 a month, which, that's pretty average for a district manager. I was working as a nurse at the hospital. I was also working as a nurse in home care. So an extra $500 a month was actually pretty nice. But yes, it was definitely one more thing to juggle into my life. Well, in the second year, my income basically tripled because I went from $500 a month up to about $2,500 a month. And my average yearly income was around $18,000. So you think about that. I was doing the same thing, but over that year time, I tripled my income. And I don't know where else you could do that. So at area manager, our business is also billable. The third level of management is regional vice president. For me, it took me 24 months to promote to this level, and it's a wonderful place to be, let me tell you, because your monthly income goes to $4,000 to $10,000 a month. And yeah, my goodness, think about this. Who here could earn a $60,000, annual income working part-time for 2 years and create this residual income that's made to last for generations? I don't know where else you could find something like this. Plus, at this level, you get to pick out a Mercedes-Benz of your choice. It just has to be white to represent purity. And so we're riding around in a beautiful Mercedes now too, which I'm not a car person, but I tell you what, it's pretty incredible to drive a Mercedes and just know that this is what's possible. I get to be the evidence now of what's possible. And then at the top level of Arbonne, it's national vice president. And most people, it takes, 4 or 5 years or more to get to this level. But my goodness, again, you've created something that's made to last for generations. And the average monthly income is $20,000 and beyond. It's unlimited. And that's amazing to me too. This is a level playing field. It really doesn't matter what your background is, or if you're a man, woman, it doesn't matter. You have the same potential to reach this level as anyone else. It's just based on your own effort. And that to me is amazing. So I just want to back up to the regional vice president level. I think that it is definitely interesting to note that in order to generate a $5,000 a month residual income from investments, you would have to invest $1 million. And then then that's how you would generate that income. So again, this is a way that you can create that $5,000 a month residual income without $1 million investment. So for people like me, it makes it doable and achievable. So there's 3 ways to be part of Arbonne. One, you can definitely host a product presentation and experience the products, which I encourage everyone to do because it's just a lot of fun and you learn some stuff. Most people become a preferred client because they love shopping Pure Safe Beneficial at a discount. But a few people see the bigger picture, and I hope you're one of them, because this is honestly the best thing that we can offer in our catalog, and that is the option of becoming an independent consultant and just opening all doors, all avenues of income, and all the possibilities. So I hope you'll consider that. You know, I'm not motivated by money. I'm just not. But what I am motivated by is living life on my own terms and teaching people how to do the same. I just think people need to know that there are other options. So I just want to ask you tonight too, if you could answer this question. Are you, after hearing a little bit about Arbonne, are you a 1, 2, or a 3? And a 1 would mean that you're curious about the products and you're open to hosting a presentation or attending one. You just want to hear more about the products. If you're a 2, you're curious about the business too. You're interested in trying out some products, but you also want to just hear more about this business and see how you could possibly weave this business into what you're already doing and see if it could be a fit for your life. And number 3, you get it, you see it, you've been looking for something like this, you're ready to jump in. So let the person who invited you onto this call know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. And I just want to close by saying, I'm going to stop share here. I just want to close by saying that, and this is something it took me a long time to really, really believe in my heart, but I do believe it now, that we are not, our past does not equal our potential. Our past does not equal our potential. That we cannot walk towards our greatness, we can only walk away from it. And that's a Keith Kochner saying, who I love. But so you think about that, you guys. We were not created, we were not born to live small lives. We were created to step into our greatness and to live in our potential and in our purpose so that we can make a bigger impact on this world. And so I just want you to know that you are worthy of the life of your dreams and that your dreams are worth it. So thank you so much for sharing this time with me tonight. And I sure hope that you won't be able to sleep tonight because of all the possibilities and all that you're thinking about now. So just love you and appreciate you and can't wait to hear what comes of this appointment tonight. So love you and God bless.